Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are doing a get ready with me, trying out new makeup. I'm going out tonight. We're going to have some drinks with my husband's friends, and I have new makeup to try out. We're gonna play with the new Nabla items. I have lip glosses from them as well. I wanted to actually show you the Mini Retro palette by Natasha Denona in use. And that is a little bit about the new things that we're gonna play with today. I am completely bare skinned. I have my Bamboo Matte cream from Herborian that is in my project pan, and I'm gonna start by priming my eyes with my Milani Eyeshadow primer. It feels a bit weird to go out tonight, I don't know. I am doing it as a, let's say, supporting my husband. He hasn't seen his friends, I want to say it since New Year's Eve, maybe. And so that's why we're going out. It's a bit of a drive, and it's at someone's house, but the plan is to be outside, have some fire, sit at the fire pit and just catch up with people. And I'll do my best to be entertained because I don't speak the language very well. I mean, I speak Dutch, but they speak dialect to each other, so I don't speak the language very well. I'm setting my eye primer with my face powder, the Nabla Matte face powder, because I find that it just skips less. I'm starting by taking this pink, soft pink shade in the Natasha Denona Mini, what is it called? Mini Retro. I talked about this one a little bit in my haul that I posted last month in June. I bought this from Sephora Italy, and it came in my big package from Italy. I feel like Italians normally get pasta sent from, I don't know, their parents. I get makeup sent from my friends, which I love. That's kind of, it's fine. I feel like I can definitely survive with the food that they provide here, that is available here in the Netherlands. But being without Sephora seems to be a hard thing for me. And I bet many of you can relate, especially people where in countries where Sephora isn't there, or where in general the makeup brands available in your regular stores are very few. And we, for example, don't have Natasha Denona in our stores anywhere, like also not even places that are like Dutch web shops. I am taking a pencil brush and the darker gray shade to deepen up the outer V. And what I was saying was that even we have like Douglas and Ici Paris. So for example, Jeffree Star is on Ici Paris, and you can get that, and in some bigger stores you can even see it. Douglas has Becca and Too Faced and I don't know, I want to say Elf, The Ordinary. But in general, there are still a lot of brands that are not available outside of Sephora, probably because they have exclusives with Sephora, and that is definitely the case with Kat Von D Beauty, sorry, KVD Vegan Beauty. It's also the case with Fenty. We don't get Fenty here, and it's really annoying, I want to say. Can you see how this eyeshadow is not green? Like, it looks green there, but it's definitely a gray, and it gets cooler and cooler the more I apply it on my skin. And I think that's because my skin tone is warm, and therefore my anything that is on me that is slightly cooler will look even cooler. And maybe with someone that has cooler undertones, maybe this will look more green and less gray. I'm curious, actually. Probably that should in theory be the case. And overall, I find this a very pretty eyeshadow palette, very delicate. And I don't know though if it's like one of my favorites. I don't know that I would, I don't know, keep it forever. I showed you in the haul that actually these two shades are the most beautiful things, and that's why I think this palette is definitely worth it. But I don't know if it would survive a declutter, to be honest. I feel like I use it only when I want to show it, either or to test it, either for Instagram or YouTube. And overall, it's not colors that I gravitate towards, which is sad because I thought it was gonna be more green than this. Let's see if I can intensify the warm pink a little bit more so that I can deepen my crease with it and kind of blend out the gray so that it's not as prominent in my look or in my eyes, because you see that the warm pink is actually quite pretty. I like it a lot. And I think I'm gonna go quite subdued, so I'm not gonna go into the gray shimmer, but I'm gonna take first the regular pink shimmer on this side as a base and apply it all over my lid. This is nothing special. I mean, it's a pretty shade, but you can see that it's really nothing special. Not the most important eyeshadow in this palette. On the other hand, I'm now gonna take with my fingers this shimmer right here, and this is, look at that, it's amazing. It is this pale pink base, but with almost mint to green shimmers on it. It's amazing. It looks really, really beautiful, and it's one of these special shades that make Natasha Denona worth their price. And I'm happy there's a few in here, because one of my biggest criticism for the Mini Glam, for example, was indeed that there was no special shade in there. I'm going in with Neve Cosmetics Night, which is a military green eye pencil, and I think it fits well with this eye look. I also went way too thick. Oopsie. To fix that a little bit, I'm picking up the pink again and just making sure that it doesn't go too, that the darkness doesn't get too close to my eye, because if I look straight at you, you really want that line to stop at the highest point of my eye, of your eye. If you have hooded eyes, that really helps to open up the eye. And just take a little bit of that shimmer again and place it in the center. So beautiful. And you kind of want to repeat your mistakes on both eyes if they are quite structural, so that they don't look so different from each other. Unfortunately, you either correct it on the eye that went wrong, or you make sure that they're the same. Also, what the pencil brought in was actually quite a bit of depth on my eye, and you can see that these pencils are super nicely blendable. I really like them. I have a ton of Neve Cosmetics eye pencils. They don't last the longest on the inner lash waterline, but they do quite a good job at being blended out. Let's move on to the face. I am applying the Nabla Cosmetics foundation. If I can still get some out. Yes. Not too much with my expert face brush from Real Techniques. I talked all about my favorite brushes, face brushes recently on my channel. I'll link that video if you want to see it, because this is definitely a favorite. And the main thing for foundation for me today is to a little bit even out my skin tone. I did self-tan last night with my Isle of Paradise drops, so I'm a little bit darker than usual. So the foundation looks a little bit lighter. But it's not a big difference with my neck. And what I have actually is a lot of lines from coloring my hair just a while ago, you can see here. And it will fade over time with a few washes, but for now it's really fresh. I just colored my hair this afternoon, and I need to cover that up because it's not pretty. It's not pretty. For concealer, I'm using a new addition to my project pan, which is the NARS Creamy Concealer in Custard. I keep wanting to say either vanilla or mustard, so please bear with me if I mess it up. And I'm curious to see how much it will last me. It's quite new, this mini size, but since I'm going on holidays this month, I said, well, why start a full-sized concealer in my project pan when I can take this mini with me on holiday. And it's a little bit darker than the one that I was using, before, so it also suits better my skin with a bit of a tan. And it's a mini, so it's good for travel. I can't wait to go. We're leaving on the 12th of July for a 2-week road trip. We decided to take the opportunity of a lower amount of tourists, and especially from outside the continent, from outside Europe. I think that number of tourists from outside Europe will be strongly reduced this year, and go to Rome, actually. As an Italian, I have never been to our capital, and some people will say shame on you. I just say I don't want to deal with tourists. So I haven't been. It was on the, let's say, on my bucket list to do, but I was thinking of doing it then in October or November, at a point where there isn't, I don't know, there's less tourists for the good weather, or at least less European tourists. But it looks like this concealer is very light in camera, but in person it's not really showing up that light. Interesting. A little bit of mattifying powder on the perimeter of my face. And now the exciting bit is going to be applying the new Nabla Bronzer. I have the shade Dune, and this will be the second time I use it. So I am waiting to use it more and try to give you a review. But at least now you can see it in person. I know that it's quite difficult, or I had also difficulty in finding the right shade for me. So I picked the second shade out of the 4. There are 3 warm tone shades and 1 more cooler olive tone shade. And I picked the second warm toned one because I have a warm undertones, and I don't have dark skin. So actually the darkest one is quite dark apparently. I've heard a lot of criticism to the brand because 3 colors is not enough, or 4 colors is not enough. I've seen these show up on some darker skin tones. I have no idea. We're gonna have to see what the people with dark skin think about it. It's not my judgment to do. I am going to apply also one of the new blushes. This here is Independence, and it's difficult to show you, but it is actually like a nude blush, but it has a pink or cooler toned shimmer and sheen on it. And maybe you can see it on my cheeks more than in the pan. It's very difficult to photograph because it has this mirror thing that kind of throws off all the cameras. But yeah, if you don't have a direct reflection, you can see the base color. And then on my cheeks, you can see that the sheen is quite light and cool toned. So it brings it a little bit more to the neutral side, and you can see that you can really see it well on the cheeks. And that was always my fear, also with the shade Truth from these skin glazing, that they would be way too light for me and that wouldn't show up. Whereas actually these are very nicely buildable and you can definitely see them. And the best part is that you don't really need highlighter when you use these skin glazing because they're already shiny by themselves. And I actually want to apply even more on my temple. I saw today Lauren May Beauty's video on blush draping. She used the Natasha Denona Bronze palette, and I love it. I usually never go into almost into my eye makeup with my blush, but it could be very nice. Is that? It kind of changes the shape of your face, having blush all the way up there. I'm not sure it's something for me, but worth a try. I'm gonna do my brows and mascara off camera, and then I'll come back for my lipstick. Here we go, mascara is done. I also finished my lower lash line quickly, just with a little bit of the warm pink matte to smoke everything out a little bit more, and I have my brows done. I miss so much having them laminated, and I'm definitely gonna do that this weekend or before leaving on holidays. Anyways, on my lips, I wanted to use one of the 2 new Nabla Cosmetics glosses. I have already tried RSVP. You guys loved it on my Instagram, and that's this bronzy shade here. But I also have the shade Stardust Radio, which is more of a red toned, and it's a bit sheerer. But I think this one is too corally for now, so I think I'm gonna use RSVP on top of a lip liner though, and I'm gonna use Immortal by Neve Cosmetics. I do quite like the Neve Cosmetics pencils. These are a little bit softer than regular lip pencils, so they can really be used as lipsticks, and they're very comfortable and they last a long time. So these are some of my favorite lip pencils. I would probably buy all the shades, but I won't. And then this is really cool toned. It's a little bit of a like a mauve-y nude, and I'm hoping that with the warm bronze on top, it will go nicely with my skin and with my hair. Just a little bit warmer and less cool. A little bit. And these glosses smell like coconut. I love it. It's like the smell of their concealer. Also smells amazing. And this is the finished look. I'm just wearing a beige sweater and some gray-green pants, and that's where the idea for the eye look came from a little bit. Nothing special, but it's gonna be cold tonight, so I wanted to be dressed accordingly. No nice dress. It's also not a party, so I'm just gonna be cozy and comfy tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was entertaining and you enjoyed hanging out with me. Just realized I didn't do this. Better. Overall thoughts so far on the Nabla stuff, it's way too early to say, but I'm liking everything. There's no first negative impression. The glosses, this isn't the second day I'm using them, and they feel really nice. What can I say? The eyeshadow palette is not a first impression, and I've used it now for a few times in the last few weeks, and I really like the quality of everything in here. If it's your color story, I would definitely go for it, but I told you that already in my haul. For me, it's gonna be a question if I want to keep it or not. This shimmery thing that I have on my lid is spectacular, so that might make me keep the palette completely. Nevertheless, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.